The Animal Rescuers has been adopted by Pet Planet. There is nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
This week on The Animal Rescuers, I will tell you stories of miracles, survival, and overcoming incredible odds. The animals on this week's show are the reason rescue groups are around and why the Animal Rescuers are here. First, let's meet Harley and his human companion, Rose. Come here, Harley. Hello, Harley. Hi, honey. This dog is amazingly handsome. He's beautiful, beautiful. Tell me about him.
He's actually a rock star for the bull mastiff breed, and he's a rescue dog. He has a unique story to tell, and that's one of miracles. He came to me a couple years ago as a dog that needed a home. His owner had passed away, and he was left in the apartment with the owner for 4 days. So I took him in as a foster dog and found him a home. He was with the new owner for about 5 days, and he showed extreme signs of separation anxiety and tore apart the man's new home. He ripped off door frames and baseboards and pulled apart sofas and broke out of a crate, tore the crate up, and it didn't seem to be the right match. So the person that had adopted him asked if he could return him to me. I said yes, and the day that he came back to me was the day that I realized I had to put my dog to sleep. I had another rescue dog that I had been treating. She'd had severe valley fever and complications from valley fever. So Harley came back to me on a Sunday, and I had to put her to sleep on a Monday morning. And Harley and I were left, him without his owner, him failing at the new rescue person's home that he went to, and then me losing my own chocolate lab that I'd had for 7 or 8 years.
So this is a story about him rescuing you well.
He did.
This is a first for me.
Yes.
Because I have not had this experience to interview somebody like this, but what a blessing for you.
It was a blessing. We have to listen to our gut. And all the signs showed that this potential new owner was going to be the right match, and it just wasn't. It wasn't for him, and it wasn't for Harley. And through no fault of anyone's, he was returned. And that's what we ask, is when a dog is adopted out and it doesn't seem to be the right fit, we ask that they do return them, because we can find the right match.
And or you can end up keeping the dog
Yourself.
for your own home,
Right.
which is
Right.
in this case a miracle for both of you, right?
It is. And we want to inspire others with the story. Olivia, my other rescue dog, came to me with heartworm, and she'd also been a bait dog. So we had numerous issues we had to hurdle.
What's a bait dog?
A bait dog is a dog used in an illegal activity of dog fighting,
Okay.
where dogs are taunted against each other. And there are dog fighting rings throughout the United States. It's illegal, and the authorities throughout the United States are trying to put a stop to it, but it still exists. Sometimes dogs are actually stolen to be a bait dog for a fighting dog. And
That's not good.
And one of the best stories is the story about the Michael Vick dogs, who ended up at the Best Friends Animal Sanctuary. The situation that bait dogs go through is really pretty extreme. Sometimes they go for days without proper food or water, and then they're also sometimes pumped with medication to increase the mass size, such as steroids. If they win in a fight and they're considered a champion, oftentimes they bring in a lot of money to breed the successor, and then the bait rings usually kill the dog that loses. And there are horrific situations out there that have occurred, and many, many stories. So in addition to finding the homes that we need for possibly as many as 11 million rescue dogs, we also need to put a stop to baiting.
So I understand you wrote a book. Please tell me the title and what is it about?
Yes, I'm happy to. The story of Harley inspired me to write a book. The book is called The Miracle of Harley, What Every Rescue Dog Owner Needs to Know. I started writing it 2 days after I had to put Olivia to sleep and Harley came to live with me. The purpose of the book is to heighten the awareness nationally and hopefully internationally about the challenges that we all face when we have dogs, whether they're a purebred dog, a rescue dog, a foster dog. The story contains segments of what it's like to have a purebred dog, then what it's like to foster a dog, in addition to the fact of rescuing a dog. Rescue dogs have certain needs. It's important for the person adopting a rescue dog to obtain as much information about their past as possible and to obtain as much about their health history as possible. Sometimes the information is known and sometimes it's a gray zone.
And where can we get a copy of this book?
The book is available on Amazon.com. It's a paperback and there's also a Kindle version available. And part of the proceeds of the book go to various rescue organizations who need additional funding. We're hoping that this book really takes off and that people share the story with anyone they know who's ever had a rescue dog, a foster dog, or has even loved a dog.
And how can someone like myself or anybody watching help you?
Well, I'm affiliated with PAC 911. They have over 125 wonderful rescue groups that they can match people up with. The website has numerous resources and helps people understand a little bit more about what the rescue process is. There's an entire listing of the 125 rescue groups available, and that would be a great place to start. They have been so supportive of numerous rescue groups in the Maricopa County area, and we thank them so much for their help.
And this little puppy is just absolutely beautiful. I'm going to take him home with me.
Don't leave him alone.
I need to go live on a zoo because every show I do,
You want to take one?
I fall in love with them over and over again.
Each one is special.
They really are, and they're very spiritual beings, and I don't doubt that Harley knows he's on the show right now, and he's touching many people because he already touched me.
Do you trust the food you feed? At Pet Planet, our commitment is to helping our customers navigate through the confusing world of pet food, reading ingredient panels, asking critical questions about manufacturing and ingredient quality. Our pets rely on us to make the very best decisions we can for their health, happiness, and longevity. Pet Planet is here as your partner in pet health because there's nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
Welcome back to the Animal Rescuers, adopted by Pet Planet.
When we write the Lulu's Angel Fund stories, our goal is to describe the journey that these dogs are taking from terrible circumstances to wellness, to a new life. Not only do the dogs serve as ambassadors for the fund itself, but they also demonstrate that they're viable family pets. The families that eventually take the dogs in, that become their forever homes, are teaching their children that these dogs are valuable. They can be restored to health. They can be loving creatures again, what they were meant to be. Basically how the fund works is we hear about a dog that's, let's say, languishing in a shelter. It's been passed over because its needs are very great. It has severe injuries. We've seen dogs with chemical burns, broken bones, dogs that have been thrown out of cars, dogs that have been beaten and starved. When people see these dogs, they're unwilling to take them on because it's so expensive to take care of the animals. And in many cases, they feel that, gee, can this dog really be restored to health? Can it ever be a family pet? The answer is yes, it can be. We just need to get them with the right rescue that has the time and the funding to take care of that animal. The Lulu's Angel Fund was designed to provide $2,500 to each of our PAC partners who takes on a Lulu's Angel Fund recipient. Once they get the dog into their care, they get it to a vet, they send us the bills, we pay those bills. We keep track of their stories, what's happening with the dogs, and we eventually tell those stories. The criteria is essentially a very damaged dog that otherwise wouldn't have a chance. This week we're going to talk about Lady, a beautiful blue pitty who was found in an animal shelter with severe burns on her back. This is her story. Lady, an owner surrender, sat in her cell at animal control for way too long, waiting for someone to save her. She languished with chemical burns on her back that could not heal without medical intervention. While Pinnell was eager for the sad blue pitty to find a home, no one was interested. Tough Love Pitbull Rescue shared her story on Facebook, and Lady's sad circumstances came to the attention of the Lulu's Angel Fund. With a plea to our rescue partners, Reservation Rewards stepped in and arranged for a foster to take Lady directly to the vet for a full exam. This is what they found. Badly infected and broken teeth necessitated 5 extractions. This poor girl had terrible problems eating. Although 20 to 30 cancerous lumps were removed from her skin, an ultrasound proved that her internal organs had thankfully not been affected. In the future, Lady will need to be monitored for her skin cancer, and any resultant lesions will be removed twice a year. Her bad burns, probably from a chemical poured on her back, are healing with medical care, but she will be forever scarred. Despite Lady's health challenges, she is so loved, sleeping on her foster dad's bed and appearing daily on his Facebook pages. Ultimately, Lady was adopted by Alonzo during our event at the Highlands Church.
She's doing so much better. I brought her home and she just became part of the family, like, overnight. And so I decided to keep her. She's just part of my family now. And yeah, she's the most lovable dog. All she wants to do is sit on your lap and be cuddled and love on you. And she's just awesome and perfect. On her back, she actually had several other burns that were right here and right here. They've actually healed up. They actually looked like this one in the beginning. And they've healed over. We're just waiting for this one to heal up. And soon, this one will hopefully look like the rest of her back. But she's just so lovable. She really is. Just a great dog.
Stay tuned for another Lulu's Angel Fund story next month, and the animal rescuers will be right back.
The first Pet Planet store opened in 1996 after the devastating loss of our Cocker Spaniel to cancer. What we learned then about pet health was eye-opening. The food and the treats that we were giving him did not support his immune system and may have actually harmed him. Pet Planet was established to be a community resource, a store that offers only the healthiest products and the best knowledge on pet health issues. At Pet Planet, there is nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
Come here.
I love you, Dad.
Welcome back to the Animal Rescuers, adopted by Pet Planet. My name is Buddy. Oh, and they also call me Pilot. Why? Well, it's a long story, but here's the short version. In 2006, I was tied up in front of Sky Harbor Airport by a drifter who had been given a ticket to fly to Utah. He happily accepted and wanted to take me along, but they wouldn't let me on the plane. So he tied me up outside the terminal and boarded his plane without me. The friendly police officer who found out about my story called Desert Labrador Retriever Rescue, and they were nice enough to take me under their wings. And that's how I got my name, Pilot. I was quickly adopted by a nice family who changed my name to Buddy. I stayed with them for over 6 years, but sadly my family had to give me up recently due to unpreventable circumstances. Well, DLRR naturally took me back because once you've been a DLRR dog, they will always take you back if you're in need. So, what kind of dog am I? Well, I'm a young 9-year-old, yellow male with a clean bill of health. I'm not a purebred, but pretty close, and I believe I'm super cute. My foster family thinks I would make a great companion for someone because I just love to be close to people. They're also very happy to see that I'm extremely well-mannered and don't need any training. I'm mellow, no basic commands such as shake, and walk great on the leash. I'm also completely housebroken. I can use the doggy door and can be trusted alone in the house. I'm just the perfect dog who loves to love and be loved by you.
I'm Wendy Faircloth, Training Director at Villa La Paz, with this week's training tip for the animal rescuers. This week, I'm going to introduce a little dog that I've been working with for probably 4 days now. He's a rescue from Lost Our Home. He was found on the streets. They had been trying to catch him for 4 to 5 days, I think. And then they finally had to trap him to catch him. And then he ended up at Lost Our Home as one of their little rescue dogs. And they had called me and asked me some advice on what to do with him, because they had had him for a couple of weeks and did his neuter and all of that. And he just really didn't seem to be progressing. They do have lots of volunteers over there who mean well, but don't always know exactly what to do to help a dog through this. So that's kind of where I came in and suggested he come and stay at the training center. It's really calm here. He'll have just a few people that he has to accept and deal with and help him get over the fact that he's afraid of all people. And so that was our goal, was to help him trust a little bit. So my game plan with this little dog is to teach him how to be near people. Because what he does is he hunkers down and he kind of goes into just like this, I don't see anything, and he just covers up. He will allow us to pet him, so I do pet him a lot, but I don't pick him up because I know that's one of the things that he doesn't really like. I just take that into consideration when working with a dog and only go as far as they want me to go. And he was telling me that he doesn't want to be picked up, and I respect that, and I'm going to allow him to not have to go through being picked up at this point. I try to feed him from my hand, but he doesn't always take treats from my hand. He's taken a couple little bits of hot dog, but that was, you know, the yummy treat. And I'm trying to keep him on dog food as much as possible. So one of the things that I do, I keep a line on him all the time because he's safe in here with this. So I keep a really long line on him. I'd say this is about 15 feet. And the reason why I use a long line is because what he was doing with the little 4-foot or 6-foot leashes is he was getting into a panic and he'd saw through, and then he was free, and then we'd have to catch him again, which puts him deeper into fear, and he distrusts us a lot because now we have to chase him and to try to catch him to get him. So I don't let him do that. And he is getting much better because I don't have to be that close to him. All I need him to do is to follow me and walk on a leash. So he hasn't been trying to chew through this longer leash. And I'm slowly going to be able to get closer and closer to him when he actually, kind of sees himself as free. So this is our friend Sully from Lost Our Home. Please stay tuned for more updates as he progresses through his training. And stay tuned to the Animal Rescuers for more training tips from Villa La Paz.
Do you trust the food you feed? At Pet Planet, our commitment is to helping our customers navigate through the confusing world of pet food, reading ingredient panels, asking critical questions about manufacturing and ingredient quality. Our pets rely on us to make the very best decisions we can for their health, happiness, and longevity. Pet Planet is here as your partner in pet health, because there's nothing more important to us than your pet's health.
It started out like a totally normal day.
I love you.
I mean, I guess I was a little sweaty and I was definitely sore. I thought I had gas. Turns out I was having a heart attack. Heart disease is the #1 killer of American women. So now I take care of my heart and I tell the women in my life to do the same.
Sounds great, by the way.
That's nice, sweetie, but that's not my heart. That is. Find out more from the American Heart Association at goredforwomen.org.
Hi, I'm Jen, and this is your Pet Planet Pet Tip of the Week. Last week, you might recall, we talked about the basic fundamentals of animal nutrition. We're going to expand on that this week and talk about how not only is nutrition important for the health and well-being of your pet, but how it's important for your family's budget. Aside from selecting a pet food that contains high-quality, highly digestible ingredients, another point to consider is the manufacturer themselves. Look for pet foods that are manufactured locally or somewhere in North America. They're manufacturing their pet foods themselves. They're not co-packing their pet foods out to another manufacturer, and they're actually sourcing their ingredients, all from within North America. We've all heard about many of the recalls over the last number of years that have posed very serious safety risks for our loving pets. Those are typically related to ingredients that have been sourced overseas and brought into North America to be put in pet food. As we've talked over the last few weeks, ingredients are very important to the health and well-being of your animal, but they also have a critical impact on your family's budget and your pocketbook. When you feed a pet food that contains high-quality ingredients that are highly digestible, you need to feed far less of that than if you're feeding a low-quality pet food that you might be purchasing from the grocery store. This bowl here contains a highly digestible, high-quality pet food called Horizon Legacy. For a 50-pound dog, you only require 2 cups of food per day to feed to your pet. For a lower quality grocery brand pet food, a 50-pound dog requires 4 cups of pet food for its daily nutritional requirement. As you'll see here, this is a significant difference in the amount of food you need to feed your pet. So not only is it going to be less expensive for you in the long run to feed a high-quality pet food, it's going to be far more nutritious for your pet. They're going to live a much longer and healthier life. Stay tuned each week for another Pet Planet Pet Tip. Coming right up, more of the Animal Rescuers.
Honey! I'm okay.
Welcome back to the Animal Rescuers, adopted by Pet Planet.
A few weeks ago, we brought you the story of Nicholas, a golden retriever who was languishing in a shelter with a cancerous tumor on his face. He seemed to have no hope, but fate reached out in the person of Candy Zemer from the Arizona Golden Retriever Connection, who took Nicholas to the vet, had the tumor removed, and he was treated for severe neglect. We followed his story after the surgery. His prognosis was then guarded, but good. We had the chance to visit Nicholas at his coming out party last weekend.
Hi, it's Candy from Arizona Golden Retriever Connection. Today has been a fantastic day where we've had celebrated Nicholas's coming out party. Nicholas, if you remember from a couple shows back, was the dog that was rescued from the East Side shelter with the large growth on his face that we had removed and a skin graft done over to the side of his face. And today he had over 75 of his friends, fans, and followers show up to celebrate his coming out party.
Nick is thoroughly enjoying his walks every day. When he gets up, if he's feeling rather rambunctious, he'll let out his now signature woof. It's kind of like a bark and a howl all put together. Tail wagging and everything. That just means he wants some more attention. So things are just going excellent for him. He still has a couple things that we're looking at, and we've got some more blood draws to do just to make sure that everything is going good. The vets have just been doing an awesome job helping take care of Nick and everything.
Nick's doing a lot better now. He's gained 13 pounds and he wakes up in a good mood every day and he's loving life.
feel very honored to be able to share these miraculous stories of the outcomes of the devastation that happens to these animals, such as Lady, who was burnt with chemicals on her back, and Nicholas, who had the cancerous tumor on his face. Also the story with Harley, a beautiful bull mastiff who was left in a home with his owner that was found dead. The outcomes of these stories are incredible, heartwarming, and hopefully they will stop people from hurting these that are our best friends. These are the stories that show you that one person can make a difference. You can be the next one. This is Kimberly reminding you that if you adopt, donate, volunteer, spay and neuter, you can be an animal rescuer too. See you next time.
Aside from the importance of the actual ingredients, another consideration when choosing a healthy pet food is to
He wakes up in a good mood every day and he's loving life.
That's it? I mean, I drove all the way out here for that.
And Bob will take it from there.
Came together today to meet Nicholas and see how he's doing with surgery. After the surgery. Stop filming. Stop.